Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that we link with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Things starting to hot up a bit at Arsenal now, with various bids going in, looking like we're going to be completing a couple of signings as well. It's starting to get busy and it needs to get busy at Arsenal. But this one was big news. Manuel Locatelli, one of the stars so far of the Euros. He's been absolutely brilliant for the Italian team. He's been linked heavily this transfer window with a move to Arsenal, the 23-year-old. And now that bid has been confirmed by the CEO of Sassuolo, that's Giovanni Carnavelli. He told Sky Italia that Arsenal have made an official bid for Locatelli. They're pushing hard to sign Locatelli, and it's an important bid. We will see. He goes on to say, also, Juventus want Locatelli, and we've a special relationship with them. We've a new meeting scheduled with Juventus, but Arsenal have bid for Manuel Locatelli, and that is very positive. It doesn't mean we're definitely going to get the player, but it's positive because he's a quality player. As I said, he's been brilliant in the Euro, scored a couple of goals, all action, you know, in the heart of that defense. And we know that Arsenal need a sort of defensive midfielder type player, and he fits the bill perfectly. We also know that it looks like Granit Xhaka is going to be moving on. He's dropped enough hints about him leaving the club. So the signing of Manuel Locatelli would be a brilliant one. However, Juventus are in for him as well. They're interested. From what I'm being told, Arsenal are willing to put, you know, the money there on the table to get the Locatelli deal done. Whereas Juventus, they want to more structure it. They want to kind of put things to, you know, in a different way. It's going to be down to two things: where the player wants to go and who comes up with the most money. That's why money talks when it comes to these sort of things. When I've spoken to Fabrizio Romano before about this, he said to me, Robbie, Locatelli would like to go to Juventus, right? Is Juventus biggest club in Italy? That's where he would like to go. However, and you heard the Sassuolo CEO there saying that, you know, they got a very special relationship with Juventus and that they're going to have further talks with them. However, Arsenal are trying to make moves for him, and you never know. It could happen. Money talks. Player might want a new challenge, might see coming over to England as a big step for him. So let's see how this one pans out. You know, who knows? As I said, the issue we have, as I said, the Italian player, Juventus, they've got Champions League football, playing with Ronaldo or playing with some of our players. You know, that's the choice. But it's positive that Arsenal are trying to make moves. And as I said, this has been confirmed by the CEO of Sassuolo. So that means that, you know, it's not no little idle rumor. So let's see how we get on with that one. But that's very positive for me. Another player Arsenal said to be interested in is Marcel Sabitzer. Now, for me, another player who was excellent in the Euros. Really, really good. You know, central midfielder, a position that we need. 27, a very experienced player, has played in the Champions League, looked good in the Champions League, captain at RB Leipzig, you know, brings a lot of what we need to that midfield. And when I've seen him play, I've always looked on him and thought would perfectly suit the Premier League. He even said in a recent interview that he likes the Premier League and he liked the challenge of coming over to play in England, because he goes, the fans over here, they really know their football. He goes, they'll cheer a tackle just as much as they cheer a great pass or a great goal, you know? So he would be suited perfectly to Arsenal, to the Premier League. Now, in Germany, they're claiming that he's available for around about £14.6 million. That's what Bild over there in Germany are claiming. And that Sabitzer is very interested in a move to England. There's a couple of Italian clubs chasing him in Inter Milan and AC Milan. Spurs have been interested as well in the past. Arsenal said to be amongst one of those clubs very, very interested in signing him. It would be, for me, a very, very positive signing if we were to get him. I know he's a little bit older than some of the other players we're looking at, but at 27, you're buying a player that's in their prime, and you're buying a lot of experience and leadership qualities, which is something that has been missing from the Arsenal team a lot over the years. So I would be very, very happy if Arsenal were to make a move for him, but still early on that one. But Arsenal interested in him. And as I said, some of the they are looking to spend a lot of money, because if they made a bid for Locatelli, he's around about 35 million. We know the Ben White situation and some of the other money they're spending, that's already taking it way over 100 million. So interesting times. Albert Sambi Lokonga. Now, we've spoken about this one extensively, hoping to hear something on this in the next couple of days about him signing for the club. It's all been agreed. It is going to happen. Albert Sambi Lokonga is going to sign. As I said yesterday, it's a very, very, very positive signing by Arsenal. But I do feel that, he's kind of coming in as one for the future, but I think he's like one of those players that's going to be one for the future, but if he hits the ground running, you could see him feature in the team very, very early. So it's a very positive signing by Arsenal. And then, of course, Nuno Tavares, who we've spoken about as well a lot. The only thing, apparently, that's sort of holding up this getting done is just him, getting a negative COVID test. Of course, we've got all the COVID rules surrounding it, and he's coming over from Portugal. That's very strict on, this country over here being very strict on people coming from Portugal. He's got to do a COVID test, get a negative COVID test, then he's going to come over and do his medical, and Nuno Tavares will become an Arsenal player. Great cover in that left-back position and a great addition to the team. So, again, positive that we're making the signings in the right areas. We've been linked today with James Tavernier. Now, Tavernier is 29 now. I didn't realize he was that old, Tavernier. Just won the league, of course, with Rangers up there in Scotland. Been a very important player. Right back, said to be available for around about £7.2 million. And as I said, he had a really, really good season. Last couple of seasons, Tavernier. A lot of teams seemingly interested in him. Arsenal interested in him. Brighton, Norwich, who could lose Max Aarons, they're apparently interested in him. Even Manchester United said to be interested in Tavernier. Bit of a strange one. He recently signed a new contract. I think it was in April. Signed a new contract that's going to keep him at Rangers until 2024. But as we know in these things, money talks. And the clubs down in England have all got a lot more money than the clubs in Scotland. It's just how it goes. And interest being shown in him, and Arsenal said to be one of those clubs interested in him in that right back position. However, will Arsenal sell Hector Bellerin this summer? All the rumours have been that he will move on, that he will go, but there's a lot of reports coming out of Arsenal saying that they're not actively offering him to clubs. Normally when a player is on his way out, you can kind of tell, because somebody at the club will be actively saying to, this is a time of year when you can, you're not tapping no one up. You can go to clubs and say, what's the status of Hector Bellerin? Is he available? And then the club will turn around and say, well, yes, he is. This is how much we'd want to consider a move for him. But there's rumours going around saying that they're not actively seeking to sell Hector Bellerin, and they're not offering him out and saying, he's available for sale. So that's interesting. Will Hector Bellerin stay at Arsenal this summer? I don't know. Even for the player himself, he wasn't getting into the first team, towards the end of the season. It was Callum Chambers who was the first choice, above him, Hector Bellerin and Cedric. So would he want to stay under those circumstances and not be that sort of number one starting player? I mean, he's a very experienced player. Hector Bellerin's been at the club for a long time. Has been captain a couple of times last season. Is he going to want to stay and just sort of play sort of second fiddle, you could sort of say, to certain players? So going to be interesting to see. Does Hector Bellerin stay this season? Do you think we should keep him? Very experienced player, or do you think time to move him on? And then, of course, William Saliba. This one goes on and on and on. His agent was apparently at the training ground yesterday, meeting with representatives of Arsenal just to find out the status of the player. What's happening? Is he going out on loan? Is he staying at Arsenal, or do you want looking to sell him? The kid's in limbo at the moment, of course, with what's happening with Ben White. And, obviously, they want to find out what's going on. And Eddie Nketiah yesterday as well on his Instagram, sort of hinting with having this sort of timer on his Instagram, sort of hinting that, almost as if to say only a matter of time before I leave. It does look like Eddie's going to be on his way out this summer. Lots of clubs are interested in him, but it's interesting that he put that up on his Insta. Again, will he move on this summer? And finally, get well soon. Or should I say, well, he is well. But fortunately, Ainsley Maitland-Niles yesterday crashing his Mercedes on the M25, overturned his car. Thankfully, he was okay. No problems with Ainsley. So thankfully, he was okay. But that was a quite horrible crash there. That's the second Arsenal player who's overturned their G-Wagon. I remember Joe Willock doing the same thing, having a crash as well in his one as well. Maybe his cars are too powerful for them or something, right? But thankfully, he's okay. And of course, he's another player that his future is going to needs to be sorted out. He said a couple of weeks ago, I don't know what's happening. Want to find out what's happening. Want to play football. Does look like Ainsley could be on his way out. Again, he's a guy who's done a right back. But we sent him out on loan. He played in midfield for West Brom. It didn't quite work out. West Brom got relegated. He's another player who's probably going to be moving on this summer. But where to? We're going to have to wait and see. So positive news around Arsenal that some signings are coming in. Let's hope those signings can be coming in as soon as possible. Can we get Locatelli? Do you think that will be a good signing? Would love to hear from you guys in the comments. But thank you for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, AFTV News Daily tonight. We'll be keeping you up to date with anything breaking throughout the day and all news around Arsenal. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow.